Scene one, Apple, take one. Scene one, Apple, take one.
This is Today at ChattState with Landon Merciers and Ashton Holt with your local weather.
Hello, I'm Landon Merciers, and I'm hoping you're having a great day. What's new with you, Ashton?
Not a whole lot. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I watched a little bit of the Super Bowl, mainly for the commercials, I'm not going to lie.
I know a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
So you really were not rooting for one team.
Not really. I'm not a big Super Bowl man.
I get that. Mm-hmm.
We are in the fifth week of the 7 week this term this week. And here's some things that you don't want to miss coming up on campus. February is Black History Month, and we're having several fun and educated activities coming up. Renowned scholar and activist Dr. Angela Davis will be having a conversation with journalist, educator, and author Dr. Stacy Patton on Thursday, February 16th. Trivia on Black History for prizes on Wednesday, February 22nd. The film, The Judas and the Black Messiah, will be showing on Wednesday, February 22nd at 6 p.m. in the Humanities Auditorium. And finally, the Soul Food Lunchery takes place on Tuesday, February 28th. ChattState's women and men's basketball teams are playing at home this Saturday at 2 and 4 p.m. Our Tigers will be playing against our rivals, Southwest Tennessee, the Chalukis. Come out and support the ChattState Tigers. Go Tigers! So, Ashton, how's the weather looking for us today?
This is some footage for, this past weekend over in Fort Oglethorpe off Battlefield Parkway going towards Ringgold. And you can see just a beautiful sunset that day. So this is by the Wendy's, Five Guys, and Jersey Mike's. So that's where all that was located at. Let's show some pictures, right? Let's show some pictures that we got over the weekend. And this was last week over in Eastridge, a beautiful, beautiful sunset that occurred there. And this is the same area of Eastridge, just a little bit past where that one was at. And this is looking, I believe, to the southeast, I believe. And for that reason, I think that's a sunrise instead of sunset. So that's my mistake on the upper Barrington part. But nonetheless, a beautiful sky on these pictures here. And this was Thursday evening of last week over at Shellifer Road in Chattanooga. Beautiful sunset as well. This is looking west. So gorgeous shot there as well. And this is over towards Nashville. Again, you got a beautiful sunset over there. And another one, that was Thursday, this is Friday. Again, beautiful sunset over here as well. So we'll talk about temperatures across the Tennessee Valley. 45 in Chattanooga, Athens down to Scottsboro, 41 in Lafayette, 46 in Dalton and Cleveland. So let's talk about some regional temperatures across the area. We got 40s in East Tennessee. Most of the southeastern U.S. is in the 50s, some areas in the 40s, but that's generally the theme across the area. Let's look at the weather map. We have area low pressure off towards the west, towards Oklahoma, towards the Central Plains. That's going to move its way here. And when this warm front right here is going to swing on by towards, 40 hours by the time this is recorded, that's going to bring us some showers and storms. Some of those may be strong. We may need to watch that closer to time for Thursday. We'll talk more about that in a minute. So here's the way it looks right now. Again, here's that low. Right about here, we got this massive showers and not really lightning with it, so it's not thunderstorms, but just a big, massive, moderate to heavy rain. And that's going to move all the way. This tan is a wind advisory that is in effect that goes through Wednesday morning. There could be winds around 20 to 30 miles an hour, all in this tan area with gusts up to 40 to 50 miles an hour. So, it's going to be, hold on to your hats. It's going to be a windy day and I'm sure by the time this is probably going to expand east. So just be aware, it's going to be a windy day regardless if you're in the advisory or not. Pollen count, let's talk about the pollen. We have 479 with the pollen count. That is for tree pollen. So again, if you're an allergy sufferer, take your meds, do what you got to do to take care of yourself. And the good news is that as we go into the weekend, the pollen levels should be subsiding a little bit as we enter into the weekend, as we get some more rain as well. So for the headlines, we got warm weather this week. This will, again, temperatures be in the 60s overall, and we'll see strong storms Thursday. And we'll watch that closely. Cool temperatures for the weekend as well, but we'll ramp back up after the weekend passes on by. 66-29 was our high and low for yesterday, which was Monday. And that's really the game here. We had no rain that was observed. And as far as the unofficial highs and lows across the area, mainly highs, we have 64 in Ringgold. We have 58 in Turtletown. Blue Ridge was 61. 65 in Dalton, 64 in Dalton. In the metro area, 67 Chattanooga, 65 in Eastridge and Cleveland, all the way up to Saudi Daisy. Whitwell has 63, 61 Kimball. North of town, 61 Dayton, 62 Athens, 67 in Pikeville, and 60 in Dunlap. So again, here is the severe weather forecast here. So there's a level 2 out of 5. Here's 5. There's a level 2 out of 5 in this yellow area. What does that mean? Again, strong storms are possible. Way things look right now, there's a lot of upper wind support, but there's not a lot of energy that could really help with severe weather development. So if we do see anything, strong straight line winds will be our biggest issue. Again, this is for Thursday. As far as tornadoes are concerned, I just don't see that likely. It's not impossible, but I wouldn't hold your breath to it. The best chance for that is going to be south of the Tennessee Valley towards Birmingham and into the deep south. But something to keep an eye on though. So for today, that is, 66, partly cloudy. It's going to be a beautiful day, but breezy, 10 to 15 miles an hour. Tonight, same deal. We have some passing scattered showers, but nothing too bad. It's still going to be breezy. Just dismiss that. That's, I meant to change that, but that's not what that was supposed to say. Again, 10 to 15 mile an hour winds. And same deal, and this is going to go into in the Wednesday night as well with the wind situation. Otherwise, 64 and sun mixing clouds of sun. And again, for Wednesday night, we'll start to see increasing clouds as that area of rain moves our way for Thursday. For the next 7 days, I was looking for Friday and Saturday. It's going to be, again, cloudy in the 40s. And for Sunday, it is, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds there as well. But seeing highs in the 50s, and we'll gradually warm up by this time next week. But mostly it's going to be cloudy. It's going to be a very dark, gray kind of beginning of the week next week. So that's the way things look right now.
Thank you, Ashton. New information is starting to emerge about multiple unidentified objects shot down in the U.S. in these recent days. Several officials close to the investigation say at least 2 of the objects had possible payloads. Ivan Rodriguez tells us more about why these high-altitude encounters may increase in the future.
3 days, 3 more objects shot down by the U.S. over North America. This all after a Chinese surveillance balloon was destroyed off the coast of South Carolina last weekend.
It's very clear that at least in one instance, we've had a testing of the American and Canadian air defense systems.
On Friday, an American F-22 shot down an object over Alaskan airspace. Saturday, an unidentified object was downed over northern Canada. And Sunday afternoon, a high-altitude object was shot near Lake Huron, Michigan, all by U.S. forces. U.S. intelligence said the objects weren't manned, didn't appear to have propulsion power, and didn't pose a threat to people on the ground.
Their altitudes were considerably lower than the Chinese high-altitude balloon and did pose a threat to civilian commercial air traffic. And while we have no specific reason to suspect that they were conducting surveillance of any kind, we couldn't rule that out.
U.S. authorities will now sharpen their security focus on that lower-level airspace going forward.
They have modified the filters and the gains, as we call it, of the radar capabilities to look more discreetly at high altitude, small radar cross section, and low speed objects.
We know that lots of nation states fly drones, and at least one of these might be a drone and not a balloon. Unclear to me at this point. We will find out.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Wow, how many air balloons are up there?
It's probably quite a good number there, but I know for a fact that globally, weather balloons are launched for weather data, for models and surface analysis and all that. So that's not uncommon. And if you've not seen a picture of a weather balloon, what that looks like, it's huge. So it's I can see, and that's as far as government balloons are concerned, that's the only one I could think of that globally they use, and at certain times of day, unless there's severe weather or a big weather event, then they have to, use that accordingly with time. But yeah, that's common.
I'll say that's common, but I feel like these are a little bit more than that.
Yeah, probably so. I won't say what I think, but yeah, there's probably something suspicious going on. So
yep,
I don't know.
Well, that's it for today on ChattState.
Have a great day.
Scene one, Apple take. Scene one, Apple